already?
We're going to need it halfway through.
When we get started, yeah. Could you please put it on 5? Okay, we're good. All right. We're just putting on the fan. It's hot in here.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Yes. So hi. I know. So I haven't bitten anybody in a couple of hours. If you want to sit in the front chair, I'm not going to get you, I promise. It's up to you. It's up to you. No. No, I just know you normally are in the front row. So, yeah. Anyway, so hi, I'm Jessica Lewis, and I am the founder of a company called Sculpt Your Life, and we're here again at the Cancer Support Community as we are every second and fourth Wednesdays of every month, and we're here to do Tai Chi Cha. Cha. That third little word is pronounced cha, like chuck wagon. And one of the coolest things about Tai Chi Cha is that it's literally the only Tai Chi practice out there that has been designated by some of our leading Tai Chi and Qigong researchers as not a martial art, but instead a moving mindfulness practice. And we all know that mindfulness is good for you, right? Like we just heard that. It's really out there information.
I even have a tattoo for him.
Well, there you go. Oh, I love that. And she has a tattoo in her arm, I believe. Very good for you. So where I'm going with this is, a lot of people, though, when they sit down to do the thing, like this happened to me at like age 15 when I first got curious about mindfulness, and it kept on going every time I tried it. Just sit down and say to myself, now I'm going to empty my mind. It's like I just gave permission to the monkey who lives up there 24/7 to run amok. And it would get worse rather than better up there. Like, even though I'm a Tai Chi Chuan instructor, I have more of a monkey mind than your average person. So, yeah, that's one reason why I'm a Tai Chi Chuan instructor. So for a lot of people, the idea of being able to do mindfulness while they're moving is very, very attractive and extra doable. So that's the biggest reason why I love Tai Chi Chuan so much. I'm actually accredited to teach a couple different kinds of Tai Chi, but this I think is the bomb. So this is the one that I teach all the time. For any of you who are out there, though, that are familiar with other styles of Tai Chi, you may notice just one tiny little visual distinction between this practice and some of the other practices you've seen. There are only 20 moves, so that's one thing. Some Tai Chi practices have like 108 moves. But we always flow from and then back to a moment of motionlessness. And the advantage of that is we can mix and match and move and shift and change the practice all around depending on whose needs need to be met and in what way. And that's very unusual in the Tai Chi world. Usually you start moving at moment 1 and you keep moving until moment 60 or however long you're doing it. And it has to be a certain order. It's like this way or the highway kind of thing. But Tai Chi Cha is incredibly flexible. I like to say that. It really meets you where you want to be met. That's one reason why it's so great for anybody that's dealing with a cancer diagnosis, because that can be scary, right? It can be really scary. Lots of stuff to deal with, physically, mentally, So why not give people a tool that they can learn in an hour or two rather than a few years, which helps offset some of the physical and mental pain you're going through when you're dealing with cancer. Because the coolest thing about the cancer support community is we're all about helping you have your best life, no matter what that looks like right now. We're not worried about being warriors and fighting things. We're here all about having our best life, no matter what that looks like right now. So that's one reason why Tai Chi Chuan is so great within this context. So let's just begin. How many of you here feel like you're going to want to do some of the movements seated? Just raise your hand. Everybody in the room. So that's good. That means I'm going to do a little of both. Okay. And since all of you are familiar with the whole practice, I'll probably just mix and match the ones that I know y'all like the most. We'll probably start seated and do a little bit of all the different directions seated. And that way, when I switch to standing, if you want to stay in your chair, go for it. As my mother-in-law used to always say, go for the gold. All right, so let's just begin by finding the most comfortable spot in your chair that you can that still allows you to be 100% in charge of your own posture. Right? So instead of leaning back against the chair back, just find the sweet spot for your upper body so that it's just kind of sitting on top of your pelvic bowl. You'll kind of find it if you check in with your ab muscles, your ab and your back and your oblique muscles, and just see if you can find just the right spot to sit in which you don't feel any of them kicking in. And you can even close your eyes for this if you like, as long as you feel confident you won't fall out of your chair. If you feel concerned about losing your balance, do not close your eyes. And that's a good idea. Maybe let's all just take a nice deep breath and pretend you're breathing in from the soles of your feet up to the top of your head. Here we go. And just let it all out again. Let's do 2 more like that. This isn't really part of Tai Chi Chuan, but I just like to do it. Here we go. And 1 more just because I like 3s. Here we go. And if you're still having trouble finding just the right spot for your upper body, why don't you just go ahead and pretend that your head has suddenly turned into a balloon that's lost about half its helium. Whew, that just makes my head just kind of float up a little higher. And then it kind of gives my spine a little extra space. I'm just visualizing it hanging down from my head like the string of the balloon. Now I feel very, very light and very upright. I don't feel any of my ab or back muscles trying to hold me up. So let's just do a little bit of good old-fashioned mindfulness while we're in this nice, relaxed position. Go ahead and look around inside your body mentally. And maybe since we're all sitting, let's just each of us find a particular spot somewhere inside to focus our attention on. Like anywhere between the belly button and the knees would be fine. And I'm going to ring my singing bowl 3 times. If there were any Buddhist monks in the room, they would say, you're calling the bell. And your whole job until I call you back with the bell is to simply dial your attention right into that little spot you've chosen as best you can. And if your mind wanders, that's normal. You can thank it for sharing and just invite it back to the spot. And let's begin. ahead and bring your attention back to the room. Nice. Okay. All right. Well, if your eyes aren't open, make sure they are. How are you going to watch me if your eyes are closed, right? That's another like visual distinction about Tai Chi Chuck compared to other Tai Chi practices. In other Tai Chi practices, you'll see the head kind of moving around and watching the hands, but in Tai Chi Chuck, the head stays forward. And I think that's just makes it even easier because you get to watch me better when you're looking at me, right? So if you lose sight of me today, you'll know you turned your head and just come back to me. I'll show you everything you need to know. So let's start with rocking motion. We'll do all the different directions in the chair, and then we'll switch to standing if you feel like it. So here we are just resting, the same way we're going to rest before and after each movement. And it's the beginning and the end of each movement too. So here we are resting. And we're just going to let some of the weight in our bodies sort of shift towards the back of the butt a little bit. Good. And you're going to feel your hands getting pulled off your lap. Just let them be down here. And then let the weight in your body kind of shift towards the front of your butt. And you're going to feel your whole upper body just moving back and forth like a column, or a stack of cookies, or even the balloon. I used to love to throw big balloony birthday parties for my kiddo when they were little, and after a few days, all the balloons would lose some of their helium, and they would just sort of float around the room. They just sort of float around the house. You'd be walking down the hall, and there'd be a balloon just kind of floating down the hall. So let's move like that. Let your upper body move like that. The balloon moves forward, the spine goes with it. It's just the string. Nice. That's good. So really the only thing that's moving in the body right here, well, of course the hands are moving. That's sort of all the drama in Tai Chi Chuan is in the hands and the arms. But in the upper body, the only thing that's moving is your pelvic bowl. Can you feel it kind of tipping back up here? Yeah. And kind of spilling forward right here. That's all that's going on. But it kind of does something to the skin on the front and back of your body at about the level of your belly button, or maybe a little below. So see if you feel this. When your pelvis spills a little forward and then a little back, your belly gets a little bellier, a little rounder, and then a little flatter. It's subtle, but can you feel it? Yeah. Yeah. I think it's really noticeable when you're in the chair. The other thing that is really noticeable in the chair to me, more so than when I'm standing, is I almost feel like I'm growing slightly taller when I move forward and slightly smaller when I move back. Again, I think it's all about that tilting and tipping back up of the pelvis. Because the skin of your upper body actually gets a little longer when you move forward, and then it gets a little bit shorter. Can you feel that? I almost feel like I'm rising up in my chair, but if you look at me from the side, I don't look like I'm rising up in the chair. Do you know what I mean? You guys, your heads aren't going up and down, but do you feel a little longer right here? Yeah, and a little shorter. So it makes this move sort of feels like an up and down move when you're in the chair. Do you feel that? Let's do three more. Here's one and two here's the last one. We're just going to let the hands float back to the body, back to the legs, and just feel yourself resting. Nice, very nice. And let's just do bird flaccid swing since it's the next move and it's the other warm-up move. Okay, put your hands around your face. You don't even have to touch your face. Just put your hands sort of around your face in the same shape of your face. Right? Very relaxed, kind of the way you would caress the face of somebody you really care about, right? And don't change the shape of your hands. Just pull them away from your face and just look at the shape. You see how they're kind of curvy and open? Yeah. Or even relax the fingers. Like, I don't know if you know this, but it requires muscles to close your fingers. Did you know that? The only muscles in your hands do this, right? And do this. All the other muscles in your hands are in your arms. Isn't that weird? Yeah, so when you're really relaxed, this is what your hands look like. And actually, in all the Tai Chi Chuan movements, this is the shape they're in. We call this an open palm, an open wrist. So a minute ago, we were doing this, right? Same shape. And then this. All right. All the other moves, we're going to have the same position. All right. But right now, we're just going to put the hands together, same position. And, like we're resting here. We're just going to put the hands here. We're going to do bird flaccid swings. So just let the weight in your upper body kind of shift towards the front of your butt, and you're going to feel that I'm getting longer and rounder here feeling. And the hands are going to just get out of the way. That's it. And then they're going to come right back. Some people say they feel stuff between their hands when they get closer here. See if you feel it. And then here we're going to draw a little circle in the air. That's it. Let's do 2 more sets like that. Each set has 3 parts. So here's one, little flip. 2. And here comes the circle. That's it. And let's do 1 more set. Nice. Nice. And here's a little circle. That's it. And we're just going to rest here. Nice. Okay, let's do around the platter. And we'll start with your left leg out. I'm gonna mirror, so I'm gonna stick my right leg out, but it'll look like my left if you're looking at me. Just like 2 inches. It's mostly a metaphor. When you're standing, it would be much farther out, but there's no need to do that when you're sitting. So we're just going to pretend there's a turkey serving platter out in front of you. It's about the height of your heart, right about here. And we're going to get that nice open wrist and hand and palm thing going on again. And we're just going to put it on the top of the platter near the back. Okay. And so as you let the weight shift forward and back, like we've gotten really good at today, the hands are going to go around the platter. And since your left leg is out, they're going to start in that direction. They're going to be up here at about midnight when you're as far forward as you're going to get. And then they're going to come back over the other leg. Okay. So here we go. Let's just do 6. That's it. Now really pay attention to your belly. I want you to really notice it when it gets as bellyish as it's going to get right about here. Good. Because no matter how unextended your arms are, when you're done going forward with your belly, when it's done expanding, I want your hands to change directions right there. Let's do 1 more. Good. And we're just going to flow back to rest and feel your body resting. Good. And let's do the other side. You're going to place your right foot a little bit out there. So right now your belly is, kind of in the flat position. When it gets a little rounder, that's when your hands are done going out here. So even if there's a big old bend in your elbow, that's good enough. And this move is really easy for the arms to really carry you away. And then you start to lean. And then there's a lot of back and ab muscles being used, right? So we're always trying to aim for the effort of no effort at all, if that's humanly possible. So let's put the hands back here at the back of the platter again. And now we're going to go, since your right foot's out there, the hands are going to go out over it first. Nice. Very good. Very good. Let's do one more. And you're going to rest. Feel your body resting. Good. Why don't we do a move that's a combination of forward, back, and side to side. And after that, we'll do a side to side move. And then from there, we'll decide whether or not you want to stand or sit. How's that sound? So let's do working the pulley. That's like the most totally combined move of all, I think. It's forward and back and it's side to side. So you're going to start with your left leg out, just like you did a moment ago. And because your left leg is a little bit forward, you're just going to bend your elbow and your hands will just come right up to like the top of your shoulder. Your fingers will come right up to the top of your shoulder. And then just turn this hand over. There's that open palm again, right? Good. So now all we're going to do, you might even need to scooch a little bit closer to the front of your chair for this one because the back of the chair may get in the way for you. All we're actually going to do is let the upper part of the body, actually just the balloon string part of your body, rotate from side to side here. Okay. Remember, your eyes are going to stay on me. Right. So it's just this part of the body, from like your sit bones to your collarbones. Rotate a little bit to your right. So away from the foot that's sticking out there. Okay. And just do that until you've gone about as far as you can comfortably go. It's not that far. It's kind of subtle. And make sure this hand came right out over this knee. So if you find it's going that way, just adjust. Yes, that's good. All right, so now the front hand, all you do is turn it over and drop it down. And the back hand, all you do is kind of just make a semicircle with the elbow. And it comes right up to the height of where the other hand was a minute ago, right? And now we're going to turn the other way. So the balloon string part of your body is going to turn away from the other leg. Here we go. And then when we're done turning, we're just going to rotate the front hand and drop it down and then just semicircle at the elbow. That's it. All right, let's let it go now. We're just going to smooth it out. And this is called working the pulley. It's kind of like your fingers are running around two old-fashioned clotheslines. Can you feel and see them? There's like one on each side of your body. And then your fingers just run around the pulleys there. Do you feel that? We normally do 9 sets, so let's do 6. This is 6. And when we get back to about the middle, you're going to let your lower hand catch up with your upper hand. And we're just going to rest for a moment. Nice. So that's how you go forward, back, and side to side at the same time. Let's do the exact same thing on the other side. So place your right foot just a couple inches out there. And so the right set of fingers is going to start right at your shoulder. And just turn this hand over. Good. All right, let's do it again, just the way we did on the other side. Just let this part of your body turn towards this elbow as far as it can comfortably go. And then we're just going to rotate and drop this hand down and then semicircle this elbow. That's it. Here we go. Nice. This is really good. Does it feel good?
Yes.
This is a pretty complex move, but it's so easy when you do it in the chair, right?
That
Nice. Let's do one more set. And when we get back to the middle, we're going to let the lower hand catch up with the upper hand. Just feel your body resting. Very nice. That was great. Okay, I'll tell you what, we skipped ahead. We're gonna back up. Let's do carry the ball to the side in the chair, and then we'll know everything there is to know about the whole practice seated. Okay, so I'll tell you what, we're gonna let just the balloon string part of the body turn a little bit to the right, and you're gonna feel your left shoulder and your left knee and even your left hand moving a little forward. Did you feel that? Yeah. And there's a hole here where your right shoulder used to be. Right? So you're going to put your hands right there. Good. There's that, open hand and wrist. You're kind of holding a little ball now. And all you're going to do is just sort of relax the wrists and just sort of extend the elbows and then let the body turn the other way. And it's going to carry these hands across the bottom and then just bend the elbows and let the turning of your balloon string carry them across the top. Can you feel that? Yes. That's it. And we normally do 3 sets of 3 with this one, but let's go ahead and do all 9, just because I really want you to have a muscle memory for the easiest way to do this move. Nice. Very nice. And here's our last set here. And when we get to the middle, we're just going to relax. Nice. So let's go back the other way, but this time we'll do it sort of the traditional way. So we'll do 3 sets of 3. Okay. Just let the balloon string part of the body turn towards your left. And we're just going to put the hands in the hole where the shoulder used to be. Yeah. Just really relax the wrists here. Yeah. Wrists are so interesting. You can move your hands in almost any direction. They move all kinds of crazy ways if you let them just really relax. I totally screwed up. I was going to do 3 sets of 3, didn't I? That was 4. Let's pretend that was 3. We'll call this 3. Let's call this 3. And when you get up to the top, you're just going to rest. Nice. See what happens when I talk? All right, let's do 2 more sets of 3. Here we go. We're going to start on your left. Good. Here's 1. Here's the 3rd. And we're going to rest. And 1 more set. Here we go. Good. Nice. Last one. And we're going to rest. Very nice. Okay. All right. So let's switch to standing if you feel like it. I'm going to push my chair a little further back so we all have a little more space here. If you feel like standing, we're going to put the feet in sort of a V shape. Whatever V shape feels good to you is fine. I have a student that just had both her hips replaced. So this is the closest thing she can get to a V right now. And that's okay because she does pretty good Tai Chi Chuan when she's in this position. If she's like this, she can't do Tai Chi Chuan because she can't move, you know, so. The easiest way is always the best way with Tai Chi Chuan. That's one thing that's so refreshing about it. So find the V that works for you, and you're just going to sort of find a sweet spot for your tailbone. It's a little different for everybody. That enables your knees to kind of move a little forward. Did you feel how they shifted? Yeah? And now the most important thing is the shift of the weight in your feet. I want it to be totally spread out across the soles of both your feet. That's something you all aren't really going to feel when you're in the chair. You're mostly just going to feel your sit bones are like the feet of your upper body. But when you're standing, I want you to really feel your feet. So right now, I'm really in the soles of my feet. Really feel how grounded this is when you're standing up. And then the last little part of it is you're just going to lift the fingers. There's that open palm again, right? And they're pretty much in the same position they would be in if they were resting on your legs, if you're standing. So you guys can rest them on your legs. See how here's the hinge in my hip. So if my leg is up here, I'd be doing that, just like you are, right? So here we are all resting together. And I'm going to mirror you. Okay. Let's do around the platter variation. All right. We already did around the platter. And let's start with the left leg out. So for those of us who are standing, we're going to shift as much of the weight out of that leg as we can. And then we're going to let the knee just extend and the heel is just going to drop down where it wants to go. And the hands are going to come back to the back of the platter. Right. And we're going to start to move the way we did when we did regular around the platter, but somewhere in front of this shoulder here, the hands are just going to lift. So again, there's that little ball between your hands. So let's go ahead and start. Here we go. And we're just going to let the ball fall off the front of the platter. That's it. That's it. Let's do 6 of these. We'd normally do 9. Nice. And here's our last one. And as that back leg fills up, if you're standing, we're just going to rise up on it. And we're all going to rest together. Good. Now let's do the other side. If you're standing with me, let all the weight drain out of your right leg into your left. And then we're just going to extend the empty left knee. Good. And here we go. That's it. Wonderful. Let's do one more. Ah, nice. Some people like to ground really deeply. I sometimes do. I don't know why. I can't even tell you why, but I do. But then I just totally relax after that. Some people walk around the room. I don't think I quite go that far, but I do like to relax at each movement. Let's do pulling in the energy. It's just like the plattery moves we've already done, only the hands are going to be under the platter. So if you're standing with me, we're going to get as much of the weight out of the left leg as we can so we can extend that knee completely and emptily. Put the hands under the platter. And here we go. This one's called pulling in the energy because it has a visualization with it. So we tell ourselves that we're pulling in energy from the most distant star we can possibly imagine, just flowing into all the little corners of your body through each one of your fingertips, like they're 10 little straws. Let's do one more. I think I miscounted. That might have been 5, but whatever. Don't count. That's too much work. Whatever you're doing, don't count. Because I often count wrong and you'll get mad. Don't count. That's definitely not the effort of no effort. Let's do the other side. And that visualization, that might have sounded really woo-woo, but I'm telling you, I use this move when I'm extremely tired, and it always wakes me up. In fact, I'm very cautious not to do too many of these at night because I don't sleep when I do that. Nice. Let's do one more. Good. Ah, very nice. Very good. Let's do one more of the purely forward and back moves before we do some of the side to sides. How about bass drum? Is that a good one? Everybody loves bass drum. Like the donkey in Shrek. Everybody loves parfait. Everybody loves bass drum. Okay, all right. So we're just resting in whatever position you happen to be in. You're going to place your left foot out there any way that's easiest. Good. The hands are going to come up to the back of this high school marching band bass drum. And as we flow forward, the fingertips are going to kind of just slide around that smooth steel rim on the outside of the drum. Nice. Again, we normally do 9 of these, but in the interest of time, we're doing 6. Let's do one more. And just feel your body resting for a moment. How often during your regular life do you ever just stop and feel your body, right? This is a really good opportunity to get really mindful. And let's let your right leg get out there any way that's easiest. Here we go. Nice. Let's do one more. Nice. Awesome. Wow. Good. We already did carry the ball to the side and working the pulley. I'll tell you what, let's just review carry the ball to the side and let's do passing clouds. Let's do that. Okay, so if you're seated, y'all know how to do it already, but we're just going to do one set of 3 each direction standing. Because they're just the movement principles when you're doing standing side to side are exactly the same as forward back, only there's just one little extra added bonus in there. So let's go over all that. We're just resting. We're going to let all the weight shift into the right leg the way you normally would. But then here's the little extra added. You're going to let your balloon string part of the body turn to your right. And then for me, I feel like this butt cheek is filling up. Did you feel that a little bit? Yeah. And then you're going to put the hands up here where the shoulder used to be. Right? And now if you're seated, you don't have to do anything with your feet. But if you're standing, this leg is now pretty empty. So all you're going to do is extend the knee and the heel will just drop down wherever it wants to be to the side. Good. And here's how we're going to do the weight shift. We're just going to sort of relax the wrists and let the elbows open a little bit. And then here comes the ball across the bottom. And then we're just going to flip them back up again. So it's shifting from side to side, but at the end of the shift, you feel the little balloon string part of your body turn. Good. Here's the third turn. So as your left leg fills up, we're going to rise up on it. That's it. Now let's do one set and just go back again. So let your left leg fill up. Let that part of your body turn. Up go the hands. Out goes the heel. And here we go. It's like that old Three Stooges joke, slowly I turn. Do you remember that? Slowly I turn. I actually hate them, but I know them quite well. Here's the right leg. We're just going to stand up on it. Every guy I've ever known thinks they're the funniest thing they've ever seen. So I kind of wanted to know what was so funny. I don't like them. But I have seen them a lot. Let's put it that way. So anyway, that's how we do carry the ball to the side. We're going to do passing clouds, which is exactly like that move, only instead of the hands being together, they're going to be independent, right? So we're going to move exactly the way we just did, only one hand is going to be down on the bottom and the other hand is going to be up on the top. So here we are resting. Good. And let's go ahead and let all the weight sink down into your left leg if you're standing. And we're all going to turn, let the balloon string part of the body turn a little bit to the left. And up goes the left hand. Good. And this guy's just going to rest for a little bit. It doesn't have anything to do quite yet. If you're standing, just extend the knee on the right leg. And out goes, yes, out goes the heel. Yes, good. So as we begin to shift, it's going to pull the left hand. Good. And on the way back, when this hand's up here, in goes the right hand, right under it. It's like it's the shadow of the hand on top. That's it. We're going to do 6 sets of this because this is a really fun move. Everybody loves it. So since you're standing with me, Kathleen, we're going to wait till all the weight's on the left leg and then we're going to switch the hands. All the weight's on the right leg and then we're going to switch the hands. And that way this hand will always be right under the upper hand. Yeah, like a shadow. You ever seen tiny clouds on a super sunny day, like moving really fast across the sky? They leave a shadow on the ground. I've seen that. That's what we're doing. Okay. And let this hand face your face. Yeah. And this hand kind of swishes down to the bottom. Here's the thing I like to remember. Let the hand on the bottom like swish through chocolate syrup. And on the way back, you get to lick it, right? Or smell it if you're on a diet, whatever. Yeah, isn't that nice? It's just easier for this hand to move when it's kind of perpendicular to the body, but it's easier for this hand to move if it's facing your face. That's just the easiest way is always the best way with Tai Chi Chuan. I know we've done way more than 9, but everybody loves passing clouds. It's like bass drum. So let's do one more set. And as you're moving back towards your left, we're just gonna rise up and rest. That was really nice, wasn't it? Didn't that feel good? And we were all moving 100% in unison. Did you feel how much easier it is? So it's not a rule. You don't have to do everything like totally in sync with everybody in the room, but it's easier to move that way. It just is. It's physics, right? Okay, so that was a side-to-side move. From here down, we're going to do a couple moves that are exactly the same, but it's going to do different things with the arms. Let's do the tappies. Okay, we have plenty of time. So let's just do regular pulling tappy. Okay, from resting, if you're standing, we're going to let all the weight fall down into your right leg. And then the balloon string part of your body is going to turn to the right, right? And just notice how your left arm kind of came out a little bit. Did you see that? Feel it? Yeah. So just turn this arm over and place it, sort of across your belly. And the other arm is going to sneak up right on top. It's going to be like the mirror of the arm below it. That's it. And then if you're standing, this leg's going to feel really empty. Just extend the knee and the heel will drop down wherever it wants to drop based on how long or short your legs are, right? And as we shift, it's going to pull the hands apart. And when you're done shifting, we're just going to stand up on this leg and we're going to rest. You guys in the chairs just rock that. Yeah, you don't have to do anything from here down. It's all from here up. And you do exactly what we do, and we'll all be doing it at the same time. So here we go. We're going to sink and shift and turn. And across your body goes your right arm, and the left is going to be just on top, kind of like the yin and the yang, right? Out goes your heel. We're going to shift. Nice. We're going to rest. Doesn't that seem easy, Jeanette?
Yeah, I'm taking short steps.
That's okay. You should take a shorter step. You're shorter than me. I can do it shorter too. How about I do a shorter step and then you don't need to worry about it. I'm not as, yeah.
Doesn't bother me.
Yeah. So it all comes down to how long your legs are and how deep you sink. Like if your legs are, my legs are as long as a 6'2" person. They somehow think I'm way taller than I am. But if I don't sink down, I can't really go that far, right? But if I sink, I can go farther. So it all comes down to how low you sink and how long your legs are, right? All right, here we go. Let's do pulling tappy again. Here I won't sink down quite as low, so I won't be able to spread my feet as far. There we go. It's still a complete weight shift. Here we go. Here I'm not sinking very low. Does that feel like we're more in sync now?
I can't see.
Doesn't matter. Yeah. Let's do one more set. Nice. You guys in the chair, you just look great. Yeah. Nice. And let's rest. Very good. Let's do wrist circles, Taffy. I'm going to turn around so we're all going the same direction. Okay? So, one thing I love about this move is that regardless of whether you're seated or standing, everybody in the room usually feels like they're totally doing the same thing as everybody else. So we're all going to let our weight just shift a little bit backwards, regardless of whether you're standing or seated. And you're going to feel yourself kind of shrinking, and you're going to feel your fingers just drop, right? And now let's all let our weight shift a little bit forward. If you're standing, you're just going to lengthen your knees, and the fingers are just going to kind of follow along. Let's just do that a couple times till it starts to feel very natural. Normally we just do 2 of these. This definitely feels very up and down to it, doesn't it? Kind of like rocking motion in that way, but it's not. If I were sitting, you wouldn't see my head coming up and down, but it feels that way. Since I'm standing, I look like I'm coming up and down because I'm lengthening my knees. Let's do one more. Good. Now this time when we drop down, we're just going to go ahead and pull taffy instead. Now let's just do 2 sets of wrist circles this time, and then we'll pull taffy. Here's 1, 2. Good. And we're going to pull taffy. 1, 2, and pull taffy. 1, 2, and pull, taffy. Nice. Ah, very good. Feel your body resting. Let's go ahead and do perpetual motion tapping. That's the third variation. Okay, so don't do anything. I just want you to watch. If you're standing, this is how we pull regular taffy, right? You get over to the left, and then you just stand up and you rest, right? And then to get back again, you get all your weight into the left, and then you move to the right, and then you stand up and you rest, right? But when you're doing the third variation of taffy, it's perpetual, so you don't stand and stop, right? So it looks like this. Don't do it, just watch. The only difference is when all the weight gets into the right leg, the left foot just leaves the ground for a moment and then you just put it right back down again. And you see, it's almost like you're going to stand up, but then you don't. You kind of see that, right? And the only other trick is the hands slide apart, and then when you get as far as you're going to go, they just slide back together again, right? Okay. So here we go. Let's come do it all together. And you know what? If you get confuzzled, don't worry about it. We always say the best way to do Tai Chi Chuan is with the effort and no effort. So worrying about whether you're doing it right is definitely effortful. Don't bother. Don't worry about that. Here we go. We're going to start on your right. And when all your weight gets over to your left leg, you're going to be all put back together again, but in the opposite way. Does that make sense? Yeah. Normally we do 9 sets of these, but in the interest of time, we'll do 6. So here's 2. Nice. One more set. And we're just going to rest. Ah, really good. Awesome. I tell you what, I have a brainstorm. Why don't we do push-pull? That's when we have your 2 hands doing this, right? And then let's do 6 healing sounds. Because 6 healing sounds is sort of like a combination of all the side to sides and push-pull, right? But with all the extra sounds. I'm going to turn around, okay? And if you all want to stay in the chair, it's totally fine. Everything from here up is going to be exactly like what I'm doing, all right? So here we go. If you're seated, all you're going to do is place your left foot a little bit out there. If you're standing, you're going to get all the weight out of that entire leg and then just extend the empty knee. And the hands, both hands are going to come up to the same height they were for working the pulley. So the fingers are about the height of your shoulders. And as you move forward, the hands are going to get pushed forward by the balloon part of your body here. Here we go. And then when you're done moving forward, the hands are just going to turn around and come back. They're moving in just as circular a way as they were doing during bass drum, only it's a very mushed circle. It's like an elliptical circle. Let's do 2 more. Here's 5. And here's 6. And when all the weight gets back in the back leg, if you're standing, we're just going to stand up on it. And the rest of us will all rest the same way. Here we go. And let's do the other side now. Let's do one more. Ah, nice. Okay, 6 healing sounds. We don't have time to go over the sounds, so don't worry about it. I'll do it for everybody. But the footwork is going to be a little bit kind of like a combination of push-pull and perpetual motion tapping, a little bit like that. So we're going to start with the left, if you're standing, the left leg as well as the left hand going forward. If you're seated though, just your left hand is going to go forward as the balloon string part of your body goes forward and back. Okay, so let's all do that together. We're going to come back. If you're standing, that front leg is going to actually leave the ground for a moment. Now both hands are going forward. Good. Now put your hands together and let your body turn to the right, and then just pull your front leg back and let it go over if you're standing. And now we're just going to sweep towards your left. Good. Now if you're standing, your right leg feels really empty, so you're just going to let it come over and forward. And now you're just going to go forward with your right hand too. Both hands. And we're going to sweep back to the right. I'm trying to get out of the way of my chair. Good. Left foot and hand going forward again. Both hands. Now sweep to the left. Right hand and right foot if you're standing. Now both hands. And sweep back to your right. Let's do one more set. Left hand and left foot if you're standing. Both hands. Sweep left. Now we're going to sweep back and forth. A little bit like perpetual motion tapping. One more. And we're going to rest. Nice. Good. All right. So the very last of the 20 moves is not a move. It's a pose. It's called Cosmic Consciousness Pose. And I'm going to do it standing. So y'all who are seated, don't worry about anything that I'm doing from here down. I'm going to set that part up first. So from rest, I'm just going to lift up the left heel and rotate it a little bit and drop it down on the right ankle. And then when I feel really balanced, like 50% of my weight here, 50% here, let's all of us let our arms rise up. So the forearms are about the height of your shoulders. And there is a sweet spot for your shoulder blades back there where they kind of feel like they're holding your arms up, like they're resting on a shelf. See if you can find that. Your fingertips are going to overlap, and the left set of fingers is going to be closer to your body than the right. And you can either look at your fingers or what's beyond them. Or if you're really fancy, you can look at both at the same time. It's a little bit like going to the optometrist. And then we're going to let everything kind of flow back to rest. Right. I'll tell you what, let's just do a little tiny bit more of good old-fashioned mindfulness. And since most of y'all are in the chair, I'm going to sit back down. All right, so let's just get very aware of what's going on in. If you're seated or standing and you feel very comfortable closing your eyes, you can go ahead and do that, but don't do it if you're going to lose your balance. And then begin to look around your inner landscape with your mind's eye and find the spot that feels like the least amount of work for your upper body especially. Now find a spot to focus your attention on, anywhere between the belly button and the knees. And let's go ahead and call the bell one more time. Here we go. Go ahead and bring your attention back to the rest of us. How do you feel? Do you feel good? Oh, I do too. I love teaching Tai Chi Chuan. It's been the greatest gift of my life. Well, one of them. So, if you liked what you saw, you can find all of these videos. They're not always 100% current. We're usually a couple weeks back on the Cancer Support Community website because Facebook recently decided to stop keeping Facebook Live things. Or on my YouTube channel. You can find it there. And you can also find all the moves broken down into chapters on my website, or you can find a couple of complete practices, both a standing and a seated practice on my website. So if you want to know more about all that, just Google Jessica Lewis and Sculpt Your Life, and I don't care how you spell it, the search engine optimization gurus say I always pop up first. I'm definitely the only Jessica Lewis in the world who teaches Tai Chi Chuan, that's for sure. But we'll be back in 2 weeks, and I'm going to turn off the live stream, and then we can chit chat a little bit, okay? All right.